might not see the outcomes, we might see the clues, but when you plant a seed, it's gotta grow before it blooms. Oh.
Aloha, Sustainable Farmer Drew here, Gardener Gardens. I want to make a quick video to bring up a point that I've been thinking about for quite a while now. Here in Manoa Valley, behind one of these original macadamia nut trees that used to be all along this valley, along with coffee and other plants as well. So anyway, I've been doing some traveling lately and thinking, and one of the things that's very important to keep in mind, this isn't really pertaining to garden, but more along the lines of the videos I've been doing lately on wild edibles and medicinal plants and our health and things like that. One of the things to keep in mind is that when you're in a particular area or from a particular area, or you go somewhere new, first of all, you need to respect that area. You need to approach it with respect. That's first and foremost. And second, you have to allow the plants to guide you. If you're trying to seek a plant or look for a plant, you may not necessarily find it. Of course you can, but when you are trying to go with something that is, sacred, as plants are, then you have to allow them to guide you. I know it sounds weird or crazy, but that's how it works. And once you do that and you find your plants, you don't want to go and just take everything. You have to understand you're coming into a niche. You're not part of that niche. So when you get there and you're in an environment, it's best to assimilate yourself, to spend time in that environment, to let things ease down so that you are more aware of the surroundings that you're in, and all that is around you will start to accommodate your presence. It's more of what we call flow. It's when you come in and you just take, you're disrupting that flow. It's important to kind of spend time in your environment and understand how things work. Watch the birds, watch everything, watch how the trees move, the wind, the sun, all that stuff. Just be aware, take note. And when you do that, you'll find and learn more plants that way. So with that said, it's important to understand and know the bioregion you're in, or ecoregion, however you want to define it is fine. But one of the most important things is to know the plants in your bioregion, to get to know them, to understand them, to research them, to learn from them, and in that particular area you may be in, or that you're going to, because it's more than beyond just survival. It's for your health, and for building relationships and dismantling the paradigms and indoctrinations that are currently up in here. However, let me get back to this thing before I go on a tangent. It's important to know your bioregion, because let's say you move somewhere from somewhere else. It may take approximately up to 2 years for you to become accustomed to that type of food. You may not, if you're not from somewhere else, it takes almost 2 years, sometimes 3 years for your body to really become accustomed to the new things that you're consuming. And that can be a simple shift from state to state. It doesn't have to be far. But if you're starting to intake plants that you normally don't get, or food that you normally don't consume in an area you live in, yes, you'll be able to eat it and all that, but to start benefiting from the nutrients of those plants in full capacity, it takes time, and the usual window is between 2 and 3 years. So in that time, it's important to know your bioregion or ecoregion to get to know your plants and build relationships with them, and in those relationships other things will unfold. And you know, every bioregion is different. Every bioregion has something special that makes up that particular bioregion. And you can be in one large bioregion and then have subdivisions within that bioregion where some plants are only found in that particular spot. Those plants are very special, and it's important not to go in and harvest unsustainably and just take everything. General rules about leaving 2/3 of what you find in an area, but that doesn't apply to all, because you may leave 2/3 of an endangered plant, and that really isn't beneficial for that particular species of plant. So it's good to know what it is you're harvesting, and when you spend time in an area and you learn your plants, they'll teach you that. They'll tell you, hey, there's not much of me, I'm a rare plant, and you shouldn't be taking much. They'll always give, and they're very selfless, and that's one of the lessons we learn. But it's very important to treat them with respect, as I said, and to leave a legacy to allow them to continue to thrive. Some people even replant the plants in the same area to allow them to multiply. They spread their seeds for them, whatever it may be, to help them out, because it is a relationship, and that relationship festers and builds and manifests within you as you spend more and more time with plants. Plants are special, and you know, here in Hawaii, there's so many indigenous and endemic plants that are special and only belong to these islands, and they're not meant to be exploited. They're not meant to go out to some other part of the world for people in that particular bioregion to try to benefit from. So that's another thing, is that where you are, those medicines are meant to serve you in that particular area. They're there for you to utilize for your healing in that particular place, because we got this guy. You know, there's plants where you live that are meant to serve the ailments and diseases and problems that you're confronted with in that particular location, and those plants are there for that purpose, to help you heal. So bringing them in from another place isn't really, you know, first of all, waste resources, but it's not staying within the bioregion that serves you. And it's good to, again, become assimilated and accustomed and learn from the particular place you live in. For me, I'm an enthusiast, and if that's your passion too, then all the bioregions are of interest to me. But I focus on where I am and love to learn, of course, other, we call them warriors, in other locations, and how they help others heal. And albeit, of course, we make medicines from them, and once in a while, yeah, you bring them in. However, your main focus should be on the ones that are in your local area. And yeah, anyway, I'm gonna keep this video short. Know your bioregion. In return, you'll gain health, wisdom, knowledge, love, compassion, all those things, and you'll learn through the respect, through the respect of plants and nature, ultimately. So with that said, Sustainable Farmer Drew, Garden to Gardens. Please leave comments, what you think, what you'd like to see, what you don't like, anything. Check out the Facebook, and yeah, I look forward to making some more videos for y'all, and aloha, mahalo, and happy gardening and foraging too.
We might not see the outcomes, we might see the clues, but when you plant a seed, it's gotta grow before it blooms. Oh.